555 Jacksonville.
I love Coach Cohen and the whole staff and everyone that's in, all the guys that were brought in free agency, just good dudes, good players too. But I really feel like we've done some great things this offseason.
Adding people who are intangibly rich. And Travis, in fact, as a player, is rare. But as a person, he's also rare.
Gets away from one, and superhuman pick from Travis Hunter. Put the cape on him already.
I think he has a great career ahead of him on both sides of the ball. If he's the best DB, is he the best wide receiver? Who knows? But is he a great playmaker on both sides of the ball? Yeah. Yes, he is. And at the end of the day, when you're a team like, us right now, who's in that stage of we have to get it right now. We need the best playmakers on the field at all times. And if he can give you that value, let's do it.
We need to go win football games. And right now, am I optimistic? Absolutely. But I'm also realistic. Like, hey, let's not break our arms, patting ourselves in the back, how great things are going right now. Because ultimately, it's about winning football games, and that's what we're focused on.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Live from training camp, the Jacksonville Jaguars now about a week into this thing in full pads for the second consecutive day. And Jaguars Today with the privilege of broadcasting live once again from the Miller Electric Center this morning. Good morning, I'm Mike Dempsey. Tony Smith will be along here in just a moment. Got Dylan Denmark back at World Headquarters at Jags, continuing to sweat it out on the field right now in full pad. So I got a few nuggets on some guys who stood out from the eyes of the organization yesterday. But I'll say this, second day in a row, and I know we've been, I don't know about driving the hype train, but at least recognizing that Tank Bigg's been getting a lot of early opportunities in practices for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Travis Etienne looked really good for the second consecutive day, maybe even better than yesterday, because a lot of what I saw today has come in team periods. I believe, and I can't, don't quote me on this, I'm not a play charter like some of the beat writers out here. Looked like he got the first handoff in team and took it around the right corner on what would have been apparently a sizable gainer. You can never tell, because they're not tackling guys to the ground, and they sometimes let plays go longer than others. But Jack's been working on a lot of full-team red zone 11-on-11, which is what they're doing right now, and we'll talk all about it throughout the course of the next couple hours. Wyatt Milm, rookie offensive lineman for the Jags, expected to join us coming up in hour two, and we'll have the voice of your Jaguars, Frank Frangi, joining us later on this hour. Good morning, Tony Smith.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Any quick any one player catch your eye today?
A little bit of Travis Hunter.
Yeah?
A little bit of that, yeah.
I thought the other Travis looked really good. Travis Etienne, I thought second day in a row. Really looked good, looked strong, quick, decisive, all those things. Travis Hunter made a nice catch in the end zone there, and the ball he kind of had to extend for. It was about knee height, had to reach out for.
Yeah, got a pop from the crowd on it. Yeah.
Right, absolutely did. But the thing about it, it just looks so smooth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's an awkward kind of thing. You're kind of going full speed, then you got to crouch down and extend your arms, and he just did it like, he was walking into the living room.
He's a crazy athlete.
He really is a crazy athlete. There's no question about it. I see, hard to know who's having more success, offense or defense in the red zone. I saw a play a minute ago where it looked like Trevor might have been sacked. Hard to tell. So the play might have been dead. Then he threw when it looked like he was throwing it away.
Yeah.
And Travis Hunter made a leaping grab. And I don't know if he got his toes down in the back line of the end zone. It was almost like an afterthought, like, I'm going to chuck this, and if somebody can make a hero play, fine. Well, he almost made a hero play.
Right, yeah.
So he's got that kind of capability.
Well, it's training camp, so you get in that kind of situation, and you'll see clips coming out from camps. I think I saw some coming out of, like, New Orleans yesterday with, is it Shuck? Is that
Shuck?
Yeah. I thought I saw
That's what I've been going with.
Right. I thought I saw a couple clips of him yesterday where on, like, 7-on-7s, he's scrambling. Right? And I'm like, just try something, man. Like, it's training camp.
Right. Why are you taking off and running in a 7-on-7?
Right. Like, try it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get in there, then you say, well, he wasn't open, but what else am I going to do with the ball? I get, like, in a game and maybe the right decision to run with it, but it's a training camp practice. Try it.
It's still crazy to me, man. That guy he's older than Trevor Lawrence. It was in the same freshman class as Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And then, with all the COVID stuff, a lot of guys got extended stays in college and whatnot. But Trevor's got 4 years of NFL experience under his belt. Shuck might have 1 year to show that he can win enough games. I'm not even sure they want him to win enough games, honestly, this year to move him out of position to maybe get another Manning in the fold if he, in fact, declares for the draft. Today, Tony, one of our last Tuesday top five says we'll have games to talk about here.
Yes, we will.
In less than 2 weeks. We got a preseason game against Pittsburgh Steelers, but today, the Tuesday top five. Now, this is going to be different depending on what your perspective is, okay? I'm out here. I've been out here for 5 out of 6 practices. You've been out here for a couple of practices. We hear what others are saying. We read what the reporters are doing. We don't track snaps and things like that, but we also talk to guys with the organization. I make sure I get out here early, and I'm getting a bunch of varied opinions on the sideline. So the question we're asking today is based on what you've heard, read, or possibly seen with your own eyes. Another good crowd out here today. Through the first week of training camp, really the first 5 practices, but you can include today, who are the 5 Jacksonville Jaguars that have stood out to you so far? And to me, it's not all about like, oh, wow, here's a low-level guy, and he's really improved his chance to make the team. There's some of that. There's some established players, and I'm like, you know what? I already thought you were good, but you're really showing out at this time. And I have probably 1 or 2 names. It'll be very interesting, I think, to see, because I don't think there's going to be the consensus of names today like we often get in something like this.
No, something like this is all reacting to what people are reacting to, basically at camp. And it's, 1 week of camp where they're in pads for the second time here in this week today. So you're reacting to the information that we have. And part of it is whatever got fed into – how you feel about all these players through an offseason.
Sure.
Right? And it's
what
how
were your
does it
expectations?
Look? Yeah, like that kind of thing. It's the reality of it. So, we'll go through our 5s. It's a week into camp, taking a look at who's caught people's eyes at least a weekend. I'm curious to see, I am curious to see how listeners are going to put their list together for this kind of thing, and how much of it is what they've heard and how much of it is their wishful thinking kind of thing.
Sure.
It's hard to know exactly.
It's hard to know for us, honestly, right? We don't
Yeah.
sit in the film sessions with these guys. We listen to what Liam Cohen says. We talk to other select coaches and
Can I put
members of the
Liam Cohen
organization.
on my list?
Sure.
Okay.
I think that's fair if you want to. If you've been impressed with how he's handled himself, in his first training camp as a head coach. I don't see anything wrong with that. It's, Tony, you can, if you think somebody in the film department is doing a particularly good job editing videos, whatever, man. I mean, it's happy season. We are undefeated. The Jacksonville Jaguars are undefeated, folks. Here's the thing. In pads, Tone, you're going to see guys start to stand out or shrink on the lines of scrimmage, right? And I'm here to tell you, I think they're early returns, they're going, we might have some competition here, right? I'm told Ezra Cleveland stood out yesterday, and again, I left before the team session. I had to get back to the studio, but that Ezra Cleveland showed the most physicality in yesterday's practice than he's probably ever shown in the Jaguar uniform.
Nice.
And this is a team that absolutely, it's not lip service. This wants to be a run-first offense. In fact, we'll talk with Wyatt Milm later, and he spoke with the media yesterday, and he seems like a gap scheme blocking dream, right? But I think they're finding out he's more athletic than they thought he was. He can move. He's got the power. There's no question he's got the power. But he can move a little bit, too. And I'm told, Tone, they're not committed to either scheme. They're really using training camp to find out that
happens.
Which is what you should do, right? You should adjust your offense and your play calls to the personnel you have on hand and what they're capable of executing. So if you find out that you can block it one way and you were anticipating, well, we're going to do something else here, you got to see what your running backs are best at, what kind of scheme that they excel in, but really what those offensive linemen are capable of doing. And I think it's to be determined if they're more of a power run team or they're more of a cutback zoning run team, depending on the talents of their individuals. And I think it may vary based on the type of back that's in the game, right? You figure Tank is more of a downhill between the tackles type guy.
Yeah.
Etienne, Tootin, maybe even Allen, more guys that can get outside the tackles and make guys miss in space. But I think they're very happy with Cleveland. I think there's real competition on this offensive line. And as we said, maybe coming into camp, who's the starting offensive lineman that you think might be on the biggest hot seat or the one who's got the biggest spotlight? And we said Anton Harrison. I don't think there's anybody as of today. Now, there's some you could sit here and go, I predict this, this, and this, and you might be right on 4 out of 5, right? But I don't think it's locked in today. I think it may turn out to follow up on what you thought was going to be the case, and you're right in your prediction. But from what I understand, they really they're not giving lip service to the competition. That means anybody like McCary, get back out here, man. You know what? You got the big contract, you've got the great versatility, but if they think a guy can handle his job better than him, I'm not saying they do, right? But they're open to it at least, and I think they feel like they've got the. Put it this way, it's not like Liam Cohen's ever had a team here before, but organizationally, it feels like they've got more good, solid options. Maybe not great, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody's saying that they have a lot of top 10 offensive linemen, but better, solid options that you feel can handle their responsibilities, not going to be a detriment, not going to be the guy, we got to cover up for him, than they've had in a long time here.
Yeah, I do think the Anton thing was a going into training camp kind of story, was likely where that was going to end. Right, I thought the entire time that was likely where it was going to end. There are questions because of what the head coach was willing to say a month ago as they were going into the off time in the off season. He said what he said. We heard the comment from him yesterday, after practice, talking about seeing him in the hallway saying, I need that from you every day, right? That kind of thing. But I think that's where the Anton thing ends. I don't think there's anything more to it. I think they feel like he is likely their best offensive lineman at this point, certainly their best option at right tackle, and that he's going to be the starting right tackle, but they felt like they needed to find a way to get something out of him consistently that we hadn't seen consistently from him, maybe in the first 2 years, but especially year 2 from Anton. So I do think that was more a story going into training camp, and based on what we've heard from everybody to this point of camp, I think that question has been answered for the most part, that Anton is taking it seriously, right? It doesn't mean that can't change as we continue to go forward, but I think for the most part, the indications are that he has taken it seriously. So for me, that's become more of a back of the mind kind of thing that I think about. I think the starting offensive linemen are always going to be important, but I don't think there's any kind of competition for what's happening at right tackle.
I don't know if I would say there's no competition. I don't think it's likely that he gets beat out. Let's put it that way. And I think he needs to continue to do this. You're right. I mean, the first week has gone well for him, but you can't just rest on your laurels and say, all right, I showed up with the right attitude. Now, like I said, they're going to be on him to continue to stack these day after day after day. So we'll get into our top 5. Will Anton Harrison make the list? Well, we'll find out as we go along today. Wyatt Milm will join us on the program. We'll hear from a couple of other offensive linemen. Hayes Carline talked with Walker Little after practice yesterday. Robert Hainsey was at the mic, so we'll have some thoughts from him. Also Hayes with De'Ami Brown if we have time for that. Frank Frangi going to join us, the voice of the Jaguars, coming up in about 25 minutes to give us his observations on training camp day 6. Somebody just made a big play down the field. I think it was a pass breakup, based on the defense doing the safe sign. In other words, incomplete. That's what you got right there. But so we'll see, and we'll talk about some other highlights that we took in today. Look forward to catching up with Wyatt Milm. Tuesday top 5. Who are the top 5 Jaguars that have caught your eye, your ear, whatever the case may be, based on what you've heard, read, and possibly seen, the ones who have stood out to you so far on what is probably the second to last Tuesday top 5 that we'll do heading into the 2025 season. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith down here at the Miller Electric Center. We got our man Dylan Denmark back at World Headquarters. Denmark, how did day 1 practice on Baldwin's march to a state championship go yesterday?
It was day 1. And
it was day 1.
Day 2. Yeah, so that's all I can tell you.
Do you guys get hit hard by the transfer portal this offseason, man?
Yeah. Yeah, that's high school football.
That's crazy.
You wake up and you show up day 1. You're like, who's here and who's not here?
You're just taking roll, counting names. Yep, exactly. All right. Well, we're all about the ones who are still there. So we hope the best always for Dylan's Baldwin Indians right there. All right, so if you want to be a part of the program today, it might be tough to get in on the phone lines, but I'll throw the number out there regardless. It's 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can take the show in right now. By the way, look at our view, Tone. We got beautiful sunny Jacksonville behind us. We got construction cranes because things are happening. Things are moving right here. If you look right off to this side where I'm pointing, we're out there. We're watching the practice going on. We've got the best seat in Jacksonville right now, and don't we know it? So you can watch us there on the YouTube stream. You can post thoughts in the YouTube chat there. You can stream us on Twitter, Facebook, and of course hit us up on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
All right, we will come back and we'll get into some thoughts from the presumptive starting left tackle from the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll start there with Walker Little. Wyatt Milm to join us live sometime between 11 and noon. Not sure exactly when that's going to take place. We're kind of on their schedule, but that's why we come out here to make it easy and convenient. And the voice of the Jags about 20 minutes away. This is Jaguars Today, live at the Miller Electric Center. Jaguars training camp, day 6 on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Load the jump program.
Term XL. 1010XL. 1010XL.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. The Everbank London Getaway Experience. One lucky winner and a guest get round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Jags play in London. Everbank.com/London for official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Everbank London Getaway sweeps entry period 7/28/25 to 9/5/25. Enter and get official rules and details at Everbank.com/London.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
The best game day parking in all of Duval is at Tailgaters Parking. Are you ready for some football? Tailgaters is just steps away on the east side of the stadium. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and secure your season parking pass today.
Discuss the beautiful game. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Get an hour of soccer talk Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Hey, Hickett here. Look, I love a great flash sale. National Carpet Cleaning Month is ending, but now Zero Res has carpet cleaning special for you. If you're at the beach, you got kids playing outside for the summer, graduation, whatever, get your carpets clean. Book this flash sale at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727. Tell them Dan sent you. Flash sale ends this Thursday. Buy 2 rooms of carpet cleaning and get the 3rd room absolutely free. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
You wouldn't drive your car 50,000 miles without an oil change. So why are you ignoring your septic tank? That thing's working round the clock, taking every flush, shower, and mystery casserole down the line. Eventually, it fills up. And when it does, you do not want to find out the hard way. Don't wait for the stink. Septic tanks need to be pumped every 3 to 5 years. Call 904-862-6769 to schedule your septic pump out with the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the duck.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you have told us about buying better quality diamonds, but is there any way to start with a smaller diamond and use it to trade up to a larger diamond later on?
Frank, it's interesting you'd ask that because our founder, H.F. Underwood, popularized growing your diamond here in Jacksonville about 50 years ago, and it's something we still do today. When a customer buys an Underwood engagement ring or solitaire diamond pendant or a pair of ear studs, we guarantee they get the price they paid for it on the purchase of any larger diamond. Now, a lot of stores would say, big deal. We do that too, but here's the Underwood difference. We guarantee you get what you paid when you trade in your Underwood diamond, even if you're trading up by only $1. It's not that you have to trade up 2 for 1 like most jewelers ask. There have been literally thousands of people in the Jacksonville area who have taken advantage of our policy, and Underwood still grows a lot of diamonds for a lot of people.
Underwood's, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. You're on-road, you're off-road, now you're on the water. Greg, tell everybody what Coach and Honda is offering in the form of boats.
We've got the Honda boat, which is a great runabout fisherman. We've got the Coach boats. They're fantastic for getting out with a family. Nice lay-down beds, all with that legendary Honda motor on.
Check them all out. They're waiting for you. You can see how you can be on the water with Honda or with Coach pontoon boats. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Who says there's no free lunch? Join me, Prosser, and Jaguar and Gator legend Fred Taylor for free food and football talk Friday, August 8th at the Alhambra Theater. When you hear this...
Bye-bye! Brock Marion Dill chasing a 90-yard run.
Be caller 28 to win a pair of tickets to a free lunch with Fred. Doors open at 11. Jags talk, Gators talk, football talk, including a 1-hour Q&A with Freddie T, and we're buying your lunch. Stay tuned for this sound to win your tickets.
Bye-bye! Brock Marion Dill chasing a 90-yard run.
Courtesy of Jenkins Hyundai and Genesis of Jacksonville on Atlantic.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Yeah, I think I have momentum, but it's always an everyday. You gotta come out here and work. Always trying to earn that spot. Earn the right to be a starter on this team, and earn the right to be an impact player on this team. So that's what I'm trying to do every day when I come out here.
That's Jaguar left tackle Walker Little speaking yesterday, asked if he's settled in at the position. Hayes Carline, you can hear the full interview at 1010XL.com in the on-demand section or anywhere you stream our interviews with players. You can find that there. And, Tony, I do think, like you said, every day you got to show up and do it. There have been years past when you're like, well, yeah, but if you don't, like, what option do you have? And right, I think they think they have options right now. And I do think Walker Little, I would expect, again, I'm not betting against any of the presumptive starters not starting here, especially because I heard some really good things about Ezra Cleveland, that they're very happy with, how he's moving around. And I think if you would have said 6-8 weeks ago, who's the most vulnerable offensive lineman, you would have said Cleveland because of the draft pick of Milum.
Yeah.
And we hadn't heard those comments about Anton at that point. But, I think the tackles will be who we expect them to be, but I don't think it's going to be handed to them.
No, I think, I mentioned there in the first segment, can I put Cohen on the list, right, on the top 5 today? Sure. And it's because of things like this. Like, I do think, I don't know how real, right, the competitions are between these guys on the offensive line, but they speak about them as if they are, right? So everything that they're doing, and I feel like it's happening inside the building too, they're putting pressure on everyone, regardless of the status of where they may be on the line. Now, I think they have a pretty solid idea of what they think the 5's going to be. I do think that's true, but I don't think they're letting anybody in on what that will be. And so there is this emphasis on, we need to see it today. Yesterday doesn't matter. We need to see it today, right? So it's open, it's open, it's open. Like, you put that in their heads and you watch them compete. right? And then you may get somebody that catches you off guard a little bit, and you're like, well, we can't not let him play. He's earned it.
Right.
You know, like that kind of thing. I do think the way that they're handling it from that perspective to keep the pressure on all these guys, even if you are the presumed starter, the pressure is on. Like, nothing's being taken off of you. We can go to somebody else, and we feel good about all our options here on the offensive line. Show it to me. That's the conversation with Anton in the hallway. Show it to me. I saw it today. I need it tomorrow and the next day and the day after that.
Right, and it can't just be, oh, well, we got options because you're not very good, and they're not.
We like our
like,
options.
Well, hopefully, right, that the competition means the 5 who emerge are playing at a little bit better than average. And I'm not expecting a Philadelphia, Detroit type offensive line scenario for this football team, but it's got to be better than it has been. Walker Little was asked by Hayes on his impressions of Trevor Lawrence, said in his opinion he's looked really good so far in camp.
He's looked really good this camp, as long as this spring. I mean, we all have all the confidence in the world in Trevor, and I think this scheme's really helping him let loose and just rip it. We got some really good playmakers on the edge with BT and Diami and Travis Hunter and other guys. TJ and Tank in the backfield. So he's doing a good job of distributing the ball and just running the offense.
Yeah, so you mentioned Diami. Diami had a nice end around today that looks like it would have really busted for a big play. And it's more telling in this setting because guys are blocking. You know, in a 7-on-7, you're like, who knows what that would have been.
It's all space everywhere.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But he went around the formation and took a handoff from Trevor and would have been chucking, going right up the left sideline with a big gainer, it appeared. So let's hope because the resume doesn't indicate that he's been much of a weapon except for that playoff run last year.
Yeah. He had a really good run last year at the end of the season. We'll see if that'll carry over into 2025. They've expressed their confidence that it will. We'll see if that bet pays off for the football team. One more here from Walker Little, catching up with Hayes. And he was asked about, we've heard a couple people out here at practice talk about this specifically with Walker Little, seeing that they do feel like they've seen a difference in how physical he's been in this training camp and into the first couple days in pads compared to what we have typically seen from Walker Little. And he was asked about working on his physicality.
You know, a day like this where first day in pads, just physicality, that finish. And then pass pro, we have 2 really great pass rushers in Trayvon and Josh. So different styles of rushers too. Both, have a few years on the belts now too, so they're pretty savvy with it. So it helps me, Anton, and the other tackles really get good reps every single day in pass pros and one-on-ones and things like that.
Yeah, look, Josh Hines Allen apparently, had his wins yesterday. I would I don't know if I should feel like, oh, these guys can't block anybody, or if Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon are getting stonewalled by our tackles, what does that say about them? I kind of expect those defensive ends to win more, though.
Yeah, we expect Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker to be among the handful of the best players on the entire roster. So when they win a rep at training camp, it's like, yeah, that's what I expect. When the guy who's blocking them wins and it becomes a habit, it's like they may have something. Right, like blocking those guys up is a big deal for whoever's doing it. And it did feel like yesterday, all the reports indicate that Trayvon and Josh kind of ran practice, up front, like they were really, really good yesterday. And look, with day 2 in pads, so it's all everything is escalating, but it's not a surprise that Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker would look good.
Well, Josh declared that Devon Hamilton's the best nose in the league. I had a media member, a good observer of this team, I will not quote them, say if Devon Hamilton's the best nose tackle in the league, Robert Hainsey must have won the Remington Award because he handled him yesterday in practice. And again, you're going to have your wins and losses, but Hainsey brought in because he knows the system. Liam Cohen's offense helped the guys transition to it. He was asked yesterday in a post-practice presser how long it takes to build that chemistry everybody's seeking with an offensive line.
It's different for every group. I think every day we'll be taking steps forward. We haven't played a game together yet, so whenever we get that opportunity, that'll present a whole new set of things to kind of work on. But so far in practice, we've been moving one day at a time, one play at a time, just learning what each other likes, how we kind of do things, how we operate together, and those are the kind of things that on an offensive line will grow and allow us to play seamlessly as 5 guys, like looking through one set of eyes.
Yeah.
So no definitive answer. In other words.
Right.
Like we're working on it, right?
It's early in the process.
If it happens, it happens, and there's no exact timetable here.
Yeah, we don't have exactly markers for what it's going to look like when we reach whatever these points are, but we're working on it, essentially is what he's saying there. And one more here from Hainsey, who, look, we've talked all offseason since they hired Liam Cohen about how effective a job they did turning around the Buccaneers' run game last year. From the season before to last year, they were a really effective offense running the football last year, and Hainsey was asked how they got the run game turned around in Tampa
How do we do that is a loaded question, because it takes everyone to run the football, especially on offense. It's not just the coaches, it's not just the scheme, it's not just the players, it's everything working in conjunction. And I do see that here. I see that being the calling card. They're emphasizing it. That's what they want this offense to be, because it's important in any offense, but this one specifically, to be able to run the ball, to set up everything else, to play action in the pass. I see a lot of similarities between how we transitioned in Tampa and how they're transitioning now. Granted, I wasn't here before, but just I guess it kind of feels the same is the best I can describe it. And that's a positive thing for me. That's exciting because it was a lot of fun to watch that run game grow. I mean, you look at that last year, we started off fine, 3-1, then we were like 4-7, and then we made a run at the end. And like, it's not overnight. It doesn't just happen. Like, you have to keep going and keep going and keep going. We're going to have to do that here no matter what. We don't know how the season's going to go, but it's one game at a time, one play at a time, and keep trusting the process, trust each other, the guys around us, the coaches, everything. And that's how you can kind of continue consistently grow throughout the season.
All right, Tuesday top five cliches used by Robert Hainsey in that answer alone. One game at a time, one day at a time. Anyway, look, I get it. He's asked the question, he's answering it, but the Bucs running game really did take off in the second half of the year. And, they kind of adjusted. I think they looked at, and that was something Liam Cohen did with their blocking scheme last year, Tony, in Tampa, had a vision for how it might work and saw how his pieces might fit. And as the year went along, they got to a point where they started to get into a rhythm. The Jags are committed to this. I mean, you don't have to listen very hard to hear how often Liam Cohen has brought it. We got to run the ball. We got to run the ball. We got to run the ball. Take pressure off Trevor. Take pressure off our defense. Just pick up first downs. What have you? Got to be more effective. Got to be more balanced in the red zone. Got to be all these things. And look, they've got 4 tailbacks, and there's a chance that they have all 4 on the opening day roster. And not many teams do. Because that is what they think their bread and butter is going to be on offense this year. All right, we got to take a timeout here. When we come back, voice of the Jags, Frank Frangi, will sit down with us for a few minutes and give us some of his Day 6 observations and just overall observations of the first week of training camp. Practice is wrapping up this morning just a moment ago. Wyatt Milm in hour number 2, and we'll get to our Tuesday top 5 Jaguars who have stood out to us in training camp as the show goes along today as well. With Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Frank Frangi joins us next on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. 1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
That's true talent.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Boy, that's one hell of an ego you've got.
The Drill.
Look at you. You're jealous.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
As a Florida homeowner, you're no stranger to mosquito problems. And although it's tempting to use DIY methods to get rid of them, mosquitoes are relentless. That's why it's important to enlist the help of the mosquito experts at Florida Pest Control. At Florida Pest Control, we offer specialized treatment solutions that are effective against mosquito infestations and are committed to keeping our customers protected year-round. For your free quote, give us a call or visit flapest.com today. Florida Pest Control, your local mosquito control experts.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Frank Frangi here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Hal Sutton when he famously said, "Be the right club today"? Well, that's what Coil Fencing delivers. The right fence today. And they've been delivering the right fencing for both commercial and residential properties for nearly 100 years. If you're in the market for a new fence, call Coil & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Lauren Brooks here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they are opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business that they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rolling.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Frangi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
I'm Frank Frangi, and I told you before, my daughter Amber is following the lead of Hacker and Mike and Matt and trying to lose a few pounds with Awaken 180. Well, I got to tell you, she's been amazed at the results. Now get this. She's been in the program 3.5 weeks. She's lost 22.5 pounds. 22. It's hard to believe, and she is so excited. There's nothing better than seeing your kid excited. She said it's so convenient. She raves about her coach, who she speaks with once a week. She said the food's terrific, and she's never hungry. Man, she's found a program that really works, and boy, is she excited. If you want to give it a try, call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It's changing my daughter's life. It really is, and it can change yours as well. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com. If you're looking for a transformation, now's the time to call Awaken 180.
The playoff-bound Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are in full swing at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable, family, fun.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, Denmark knows the assignment. He absolutely does.
Yes,
play
he
him in.
does.
You got to play him in. Frank Frangi's got walk-up music. Anything from the Springsteen catalog is fine. He's the voice of your Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's sweating it out here like everybody else.
It's hot out here.
Man, they got one of those, what do you call that, like a 3.5-foot tall fan.
You mean the one I was laying in front of a moment ago?
Just like, I thought you were going to set sail for a minute there. The wind was in your sail.
Felt so good.
But, yeah, we might think about flipping that around, Tony. It's pointing at absolutely nobody right now.
And it works, just so you know. I was right in front of it.
I just wonder if it sounds like a jet engine at takeoff if we turn it around. But regardless, Frank, Jags on the field, second day in full pads. Let's start with any particular observations of the last 2 days that stood out to you.
Yeah, when they hit, number one, there's a handful of players that do. But I think I like it when they hit. It's so different than when they used to hit. I think people play and it's good. Players are so concerned about each other's safety, which is good. Remember the old days? Remember the Oklahoma drills and 9-on-7? I mean, it was physical.
Hey, Tyson Alualu, right off the plane, right. Just hop right in. We're going to throw you in an Oklahoma drill.
By now, there'd be 2 or 3 fights, and so that world's different. But that stood out. Look, Mike, listen. I'm always a positive guy. But Trevor, it almost feels like it's his team more. And then either that or I'm talking myself into that. But I like what I see so far from these guys. It's hot. Nobody knows till they play someone else. But there seems to be a rhythm to it. There does to me.
Yeah, Tony, I'm not going to lie. I do like a good Oklahoma drill. As a spectator,
love it.
As a spectator, I just, I want the best of all worlds. I want to see my guys go hard in training camp.
Yeah.
But if they get injured, I'm going to blame you.
Yeah, right.
I'm a hypocrite.
I'm glad they didn't do it, but I loved it when they did.
Yeah, they very much come down on the side of we're not going to risk our players unnecessarily.
And you can see that. And again, when Mike said what stood out, that's what stood out is it's very careful padded practice. You can see it the last couple days.
How improved do you think the offensive line will wind up being?
Well, that's the question, Tony. It really is. It'd be a guess. I want to believe that when Tony Baselli, who was very involved in the personnel stuff and worked alongside James Gladstone and Liam and the whole team, when he saw Robert Hainsey and Patrick McCarry, they're the 2 new guys. Aduma, too, by the way, is a guy that they really like. But when he saw the new guys, he saw something special. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until I can't. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that what he saw in Robert Hainsey's a pretty good player. He got beat out by a high draft pick last year. But he's a pretty good player. And McCarry's got that nasty. So I'm going to believe it's going to be better. If for no other reason, I thought it was really bad last year. So it's got to be better, right? So we'll see if it's a lot better. We'll see about the tackles. They're going to have to prove it to me a little bit. But I think the interior will be better.
Look, we just don't know, right? I mean, but I true. When Tony and I were talking about this early in the program today, I really believe that they think they have good competition across the board. Now, you hope it's good competition. You hope it's not because your guys are just average or mediocre and it's easy to push a guy like that. But from what I've heard, they're super happy about the way Anton has shown up, right? After some, spotlight put on him by Liam Cohen and the offensive line coaches all season. Very happy the way Ezra Cleveland has shown up in pads as well. Wyatt Milum looks the part. I hear raves about Chuma Edoga, Frank.
Yeah.
And, we don't know that much about McCarry here because he's been missing a few practices. But I think they like the kind of the crucible of competition that they've created. They think that whoever emerges is going to be an upgrade over what they've seen.
And that's the position that they really did bring in the competition you're talking about. There's areas there's not going to be competition. There's not competition at quarterback. There's not competition at wide receiver. There's not competition at middle linebacker. The area they brought in, there's not competition at defensive end. Where they really brought in competition, to your point, was that spot. I mean, they brought in a bunch of guys, man. They brought in a bunch of free agents. They drafted a guy high. They really, and they've said this, those 5 spots, they want those 5 guys to win those jobs. I'll tell you this. I think Hainsey's going to be the center, and I think McCarry's going to be the right guard, even though, to your point, Edoga is the guy they really like. But I think they're going to – after that, man, I don't know. I think Cleveland will start ahead of Milum to start the season, but I don't know that. I think the tackles will hold their spot to start the season, but I think there's real competition.
We're all guessing, right? I mean, I think, though, that it's the projected 5 in our head is probably going to be the opening day 5. It's interesting because, like, Fred Johnson was getting some buzz in the offseason, and now that the pads have come on, it's like, to me, it's shifted to Udoka a little bit there. And this is a setting, we're going to have Wyatt Milm on coming up sometime after you today, where he should really excel, because this is the kind of guy that he's not going to show up until he can put his hands on you.
I agree, and interior offensive linemen tend to be that way. Even in tackles, there's no. I mean, other than pass blocking, you can't really see if they can drive forward the whole bit. But I agree with you. I agree with what you said, that it'll probably be Walker Little, Cleveland, Hainsey, Macari, Anton to start. But I'm not convinced in October that's it. I'm not convinced.
Oh, no.
I'm not, Mike.
They drafted Milam to start.
To play a lot
sooner rather than later.
I think that's true. I think Udoka is a guy that really caught their attention. Look, in Dallas, he was a good player. He just got in his own way a bunch. So my guess is you'll see some movement over the course of 17 games. You'll see some movement with that group.
Frank, you are the only play-by-play man in the league this year that has the opportunity to spend any time in an offseason working on a big play call for one player making a play on the offensive or defensive side of the ball. Have you put any thought into what that might be?
I haven't yet. I tell you a lesson I learned, Tony, and this is my 12th year doing it. The first year I did it, I had all these plans. I had all these catchphrases and things I'd say about this guy and that guy. Hasta la vista. I had them all planned, okay? And what I realized, seriously, is it's got to kind of come organically.
Yeah.
How good is that came organically, and I didn't. And so when I first started, I had a plan. I had a legal pad full of, I'm going to say this if this happens, and I'm going to say this if that happens, and I've learned it doesn't work that way. Having said that, I can't wait to call plays that Travis Hunter's in.
Yeah.
Either side of the ball, I really can. I'm really excited about what I think he's going to be.
Yeah, and Laviska could have helped by actually running away from people on occasion.
Yeah, said it one time, I think.
Laviska,
I think I said it one time. I'm not kidding. I think I said it one time.
Frank, today our top 5, we're asking for 5 guys. You don't have to give us 5, but just give us a player or 2 that has stood out to you. Maybe they're an established player that is really having one of his best camps, or just a guy who's raised his profile over the first week.
Parker Washington roars to the front for me there. I think he's looked really good. Now, he's probably their 4th receiver, I think, when Travis is on offense, but you need a good 4th receiver. He has jumped off the page for me. He looks like a seasoned veteran, and he's not a guy that's been here that long, but he's been here a while. He's jumped off the page. Before he got hurt, Monteric Brown really looked good to me. I thought in the drills, again, he wasn't here for a padded practice, but they did a more 11-on-11 early on than other teams had done, so he looked good to me. Mike, all 3 running backs, Bashil Tootin, another guy that is banged up now, but boy, he's got some burst, doesn't he? So, and I had heard that, but I didn't know. All I heard about Tootin was how fast he was.
Right.
I didn't realize how bulky he is.
He's bulky, and he's got the really good lateral quickness.
He does.
Too. Like, he can make a quick shimmy move on you. He had the pads on today. I didn't see him get any team reps.
I didn't either.
But he did have the pads and was doing individual stuff.
Another guy, speaking of that, the running back room is pretty good now, because the 2 back, say what you want, Etienne and Bigsby are good backs. They're flawed in some ways. Everyone's flawed somehow, but they're good backs. So it's a good running back room. I saw LaQuinn Allen catch 2 or 3 balls out of the backfield last year. Obviously, he was probably the best pass-catching running back in all of college football last year. I'll bet he's their 3rd down back.
Well, he made a play up the left sideline yesterday.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I pointed it,
yes.
That looked like a wide receiver.
He did.
I brought that up yesterday. But here's the thing. If he's their 3rd down back, okay, and if Bigsby and Tootin show they can hang on to the football in the preseason, not many teams carry 4 tailbacks. I don't think they cut Etienne Frank, who, by the way, I've praised. I think he has stood out to me over today and yesterday as much as any player. I think he looked really good in practice, but I still think that if they're comfortable with that group and some team loses a starter in training camp and comes knocking on this door, I don't think Etienne's guaranteed to be on the opening day roster.
I think that's conceivable. I do. Remember, they went into the offseason with 5 running backs that they drafted. Now, Keelan Robinson got cut, but they had 5 guys that they had drafted. You never see that. You never see 5 drafted running backs. There's still 4 drafted running backs. They're in a sport, Mike, where there's not much depth anymore, they have depth in that room, which could lead to that. And I think, by the way, I think Travis Etienne's a good player. I wish he could learn to change speeds. He hits the hole so fast that sometimes he just gets blown up. so fast and blown up. And the great running backs, they stop and start, and they make people miss. And I hope he can get that. But I think he's a good football player, and I think he's going to help either this team or, to your point, if he did get moved, somebody else's team.
Well, to your point of 4 drafted running back, this regime only drafted 2 of them.
That's correct.
Right?
That's right.
Those guys are going to have a leg up, and at least in terms of longevity, I don't think Quinn Allen's they're going to try to sneak him to the practice squad.
I agree. And I listen, as odd as it seems, they drafted a bunch of guys. I think in some capacity, just about all of them are going to be on the team. I think Monheim might be the backup center at some point, and they drafted him very late.
I'm told they thought he was the best center in the draft.
Yeah.
And it was like they weren't necessarily going to take it, another offensive lineman, but they're like, how can we not take him in the 7th round?
Correct.
And which shocks me that they had him higher than Jared Wilson, because, he was universally seen as the best.
But to your point, regardless of where they had him specifically, they think he's a good player. And I'm telling you, I think everybody they drafted has a chance to make the team. Maybe you sneak a guy or 2 on the practice squad, but for the most part, there's going to be a lot of new Jaguars. When they break camp with 53, it's going to be a lot of new Jaguars.
I think Tony and I were talking about this yesterday. Monheim makes the team, doesn't get active on game day as long as if everyone's healthy, because Makari can slide in and play center in a pinch. Right. I don't know if you're going to keep just a pure center on the active roster if that's all he does.
Yeah, if you dress 8, teams dress either 8 or 9. If you dress 8, your backup center's got to be a backup something else.
Right.
To your point.
Right. I think Milam would be active. I think Doga would be active, and in one of Fred Johnson or Cole Van Lanen as another tackle option.
If you had to tell me right now, if we were a moment ago named the 5 starters, then that's the next 3. I agree with that.
What have been? This is the first time around for Liam Cohen in this kind of, he's the head coach. He's never done this side of it before. What have been your impressions of him throughout the offseason and now 1 week into camp?
2 things. Number one, and offseason I got to know him a little bit. He's a really good dude. I've had him on a couple times. I've talked to him socially a number of times. I really like him. 2 things stand out, Tony. Number one, he really seems to have managed the rhythm of the workouts really well for a guy that's not been a head coach before. When to push them, when to say, okay, that's enough. It's your first day in the heat. Let's get off the field. Let's push a little harder today. They seem to be responding to the tempo and the amount of time out there, what days you practice, what days you're off. So I think the planning has been exceptional for a guy that's not done it before. That part stands out. The other part is he's trying so hard not to be offensive coordinator guy, but you see the look on his face when someone drops a pass it's a different look than if a defensive guy gets beat. He's that offensive coordinator's in there. He even speaks to it sometimes. Man, I'm pissed. And then I got to realize, wait a minute, I got to be happy about the defensive guy making the play. So 2 things, Tony. One, I think he's managed the rhythm of the workouts, how much they work out, how much they don't, keeping them fresh but making them work. He's done it really well for a guy that's never done this before. And the other part of it is that offensive coach is still in there, man. And he gets frustrated when the offense does something badly.
All right, Frange, what's coming up today? 4 o'clock, back to your normal slot today, right?
Normal slot. It'll be just a lot of this is what it's going to be. We don't have a whole lot of later on in the week. We got some fun stuff coming up. We've got Kevin Kaplan's going to come by on the program and just stop by tomorrow and talk about injuries and how hard camp is to get by. We'll have a sports and course on our normal stuff, but today is just an awful lot of Jaguar football coming up today.
All right, man. Voice of your Jacksonville Jaguars, host of the Frangi Show, Frank Frangi. Thanks for stopping by.
All right, fellas, anytime.
Appreciate it. There he goes, Frank Frangi out the door. Wyatt Milm sometime coming up in hour number 2. Tony will take us around the league as well. We've got our Tuesday top 5 countdown to get to. 5 Jaguars that have stood out to us in training camp throughout the first week. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark here with you. Mike and Tony at the Miller Electric Center. Denmark back at World Headquarters on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for big number 1, Duval Ford. Do they want to sell you a vehicle? Absolutely, but they want to take care of you and your vehicle. They have a huge indoor showroom and service lounge with arcade games, massage chairs. They're going to take care of your vehicle. They're going to take care of you as well. An on-site finance center with same-day approvals, new vehicle delivery bay. They try to make things as easy as possible for you because they want your repeat business, and it must work because Duval Ford has been thriving in Jacksonville for over 110 years. On Cassett Avenue or online at duvalford.com.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Get loose in the corner and tight on the straightaway.
That 2-car was all over the place.
Sunday at Iowa Speedway.
What'll he do?
Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower. 1010XL.
If your house feels like a Florida swamp and your thermostat's just throwing out suggestions, then it's time to call Duck Duck Air Conditioning.
They showed up fast, fixed it right, and even cleaned up after. My house is finally chilled, and so am I.
Whether your AC needs a quick fix, a full replacement, or just a little TLC, Duck Duck Air Conditioning has got you covered with fast and honest service. Call 904-862-6769 to get your cool back, or online at duckduckac.com. When your AC is stuck, call the Duck.
Storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through July 31st. And financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Hey, Hickett here. Think you got the ugliest garage floor on the First Coast? Your garage a crack-stained, hot mess? Hold on to your squeegee. Checkmate Coatings is hunting for the worst garage floor out there. And the winner gets a free garage coating makeover. Whoa! Take 10 seconds. Snap a pic of that garage eyesore. Register at checkmatecoatings.com/contest for a chance to win a free floor coating. It's easy. Just snap a quick pic and enter for a chance to win at checkmatecoatings.com/contest. Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
One man, one hammer. One place to hear it drop. Hammer Time with Hayes, weekdays on The Frangi Show.
On 1010XL. Driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
Football season is almost here, so before it arrives, I'm going to get my home organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, anywhere that needs to be organized. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off during the month of July. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. The Jacksonville Jaguars had to make a change to the entry for the stadium scrimmage gates due to the shifting construction. Now for the August 1st scrimmage, gates for entry are gates 1 and 4. The West Club is no longer open for public entry. The scrimmage is on Friday at Everbank Stadium. We'll broadcast the scrimmage live at 92.5 FM. If you want to go to the game, simply go to jaguars.com/trainingcamp/tickets for more information. Sophomore quarterback DJ Lagway has been named to the Maxwell Award watch list after playing one of the hardest ranked schedules in the country and leading the team to a winning record. The former #1 recruited quarterback helped lead the Gators to an 8-5 season record after starting quarterback Graham Mertz tore his ACL in the game against Tennessee. 94 degrees at 10:57, time and 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, hour 2 is upon us. It is, I'm going to say not cooling off yet, Tony. No. In the state of Florida in late July. It was a hot one out here, which is, I think, fantastic. Look, you're going to put these guys in pads, especially you're going to practice in the morning. I hope they're sweating their tails off out there. You know what I mean? I thought for years this is something you should lean into. I get you got to protect your players, but we're not saying full pads 2-a-days every day. You know, you got to acclimate yourself to these 1 o'clock kickoffs, but they're going to do it the way they're going to do it. We'll see how it works out for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but nobody falling out in practice, so that was good. Tony, we're going to start our top 5 countdown coming up here in a moment. As at some point, we're going to have Wyatt Milm sit down with us, and that's going to be kind of on his schedule when he's able to make it up here to the Miller Electric Center. So why don't we take a moment and check out what's going on around the rest of the National Football League.
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Tennessee has waived wide receiver Treylon Burks with an injury designation. The 2022 first-round pick had 53 catches for 699 yards with 1 touchdown in 27 games played in 3 years there with Tennessee. Burks suffered a broken collarbone over the weekend. Denver and wide receiver Cortland Sutton have agreed to a 4-year, $92 million contract extension. Denver head coach Sean Payton yesterday said that the foot injury to linebacker Drew Sanders is to a ligament, not a tendon, and that he is expected to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields did participate in 11-on-11 work yesterday after suffering a dislocated toe last Thursday. Cleveland is calling quarterback Kenny Pickett day-to-day with a hamstring injury that he suffered over the weekend. Dallas guard Robert Jones will miss 2 to 3 months after suffering a broken bone in his neck, he told reporters yesterday. Tampa linebacker David Walker is out for the year after suffering a torn ACL. Baltimore wide receiver Rashad Bateman was sent home from training camp practice on Monday. Ravens head coach John Harbaugh said that Bateman is dealing with an illness. The Ravens also held corner Jair Alexander out of practice yesterday after needing to have his knee drained, but he is expected to be out on the field today. Chicago rookie wide receiver Luther Burden practiced for the first time in camp yesterday as he returns from a hamstring injury. Pittsburgh has released released. Wide receiver Cordero Patterson and NFL Hall of Famer and current Colorado head coach Deion Sanders said on Monday that he had been diagnosed with an aggressive form of bladder cancer, but that his oncologist has told him after surgery that he can consider himself cured.
All right, that's awesome. Treylon Burks, man, top 4 receiver in the league, breaks his collarbone. Oh, wait, that was Cam Ward's rankings, right? It's just so funny. Like, hey, Devon Hamilton's best nose in the league, right? According to his teammate Josh Hines Allen. If you don't recall this, before the draft, when Cam Ward knew he was going to Tennessee, he was asked to rank his top receivers in the NFL. Number 1 was Calvin Ridley. Guess he had a hint on where he was headed. 2 and 3 in some order were Chase and Jefferson, and number 4 he put Treylon Burks in there, who, had he not broken his collarbone, would likely not be one of the top 2 receivers in Tennessee this
Probably
year.
not.
Probably Tyler Lockett in that other spot. All right, today, time for a Tuesday top 5, or at least to get the countdown started a little bit here on Jaguars Today on 1010 XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio, the home of your Jacksonville Jaguars, as we're live at the Miller Electric Center on the Duval deck. We're asking you today for 5 guys that have stood out to you. Now, you may have not attended a practice. Maybe this is through reporting. Maybe you hear about them on Jaguars Today. Maybe you hear about them somewhere else on 1010XL. You're reading about one of the many excellent reporters out here doing camp write-ups, whatever the case may be. Or maybe you have been in attendance at some or all of these practices. Saw a friend of mine, Tony, made it to practice number 4. Get a job, all right? No, I'm kidding. But seriously, get a job. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. There probably is a decent percentage of retired people in the audience out here.
No doubt.
But we're asking folks today for 5 guys that have stood out. It can be just exceeded expectations, can be a vet having a great camp, can be whatever you like it to be. So why don't we begin the countdown?
Number 5.
All right, let's go to the home office of Dylan Denmark back at World Headquarters. Dylan, who are you going to put in the number 5 slot today?
All right, so all honesty, I had a top 4, and then Hacker was in here. I said, Hack, Nate, give me a guy that hasn't been talked about as much. I had a good camp. And he said Antonio Johnson. So I'll go with Antonio Johnson, number 5.
All right. Well, and we said whether you're seeing, reading, hearing about it, whatever, and Dylan's hearing about that. Look, I've heard that. I just don't know where he factors in.
Yeah.
You know, what Antonio Johnson. I hope he can play some special teams. It's a competitive room. It's not a defined room at the free safety position, Tony. But I do think Eric Murray is, you can pencil him in with heavy shading as a starting strong safety. And I think a lot of us had thought Dewey Wingard might open the season as a starter. Certainly Caleb Ransall was drafted to eventually become that guy. But Antonio Johnson's a specimen now. If he can put it all together and, figure out everything it takes to get the most out of his ability, he's an intriguing player on this roster.
No, he is, and we'll see where he's going to wind up in the pecking order when everything is said and done. But everything you hear about him to this point in camp has all been positive, right, for Antonio Johnson. And that's good for him because the first couple of years, not so much.
No doubt.
Right? It was thought last year going into the season that he was the guy that was going to take on that safety spot, and it just didn't happen. Just didn't happen. He wasn't good enough on the field.
Got lost in coverage.
Yeah. So hopefully he's better this year, but I don't know where exactly he's going to fit in ultimately, but he's still having a good week.
And look, not everyone on the 53 is going to start, and so find a way to contribute and be ready to go if your name is called. Who you got at number 5, Tone?
I have Travis Hunter at 5.
Okay.
For me, and he is kind of the show out here in Jacksonville. We know anybody outside of Jacksonville that comes here wants to see what 12 is doing right on the field, and whether or not they're going to get to watch him on offense or defense that particular day. He was the star of the show by all indications on Sunday out here at training camp practice. As I mentioned when we came on the air, the catch that you mentioned in the end zone.
Yes.
His athleticism everywhere that he's on the field. When he goes, he goes. It's crazy to watch what he is capable of doing. And it is, it's Travis Hunter season here in Jacksonville. So putting together a list like this, it's hard for me to not mention him in there somewhere. I sneak him in there at 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's popped a little bit. Like, I don't have him in my top 5, but that's more I'm just focusing on some other guys who've opened eyes, but I don't think he's had a bad camp. There are plenty of guys we're not going to name that are not necessarily having bad camps. Frank said Parker Washington would top his list. He probably was the last one to miss the cut for me in the top 5. But at number 5, I did put Anton Harrison in here. And it's not that he's done anything so spectacular. It just seems like the speculation has calmed down that he is meeting the challenge, right? And not that he was never capable of it. I absolutely think he is capable of pretty much anything anyone on this offensive line can do in terms of reaching peak talent. He may be the most talented guy of that unit, of all the offensive linemen they have on the team. The question is, does he have the professionalism, the drive to show up every single day and get the most out of his ability? And so far, so good. You heard Liam Cohen talk about it. Saw him in the hallway. Hey, we're going to continue to get this Anton? And Anton is not taking this as like, yes, coach, all right, I get the message. He's like, yes, he's buying in. I want to show you that I'm capable of being that guy. Anton Harrison is playing with an eye towards the future. We're seeing guys around the league get massive deals on the offensive line. Guys you've never heard of, Tone, for the most part. I mean, you've heard of them. You know what I'm saying? The casual fan out there may have never heard of some of these guys, and they're getting big money deals. So Anton Harrison, there's plenty of carrots dangling out in front of him to get the best performance out of him. You hope that he's self-motivated, but some guys take a little bit longer just for that to kick into gear and to find their slot. And apparently he has shown up, and I think it's quieted down the idea that Fred Johnson's going to push him for that starting job. I'd be very surprised at this point unless there's some backsliding from Anton Harrison. So, again, it's not that I didn't think he had this capability in him, but the coach kind of put a spotlight on him, and I think he has responded to it. So I'm going to give him credit for that, and that's who I have in at number 5. All right, next up on the countdown.
Number 4.
What do you got, Tone?
I have Tyson Campbell. Whether or not he can recapture or exceed the kind of year that he had in 2022 when he was being talked about going into the 23 season among the top 5 corners in the league, right? Like, that's the kind of year that he had in 2022. I think him being able to get back to that kind of level is a big deal for the team in a lot of ways, and the early indications have been pretty good. You know, they've been positive in that kind of regard. It's the first week of camp, so you can only see what you can see, but all the reports I've heard on Tyson indicate that at least the early steps here have been back in that kind of direction.
Do I need to cover my list? Because Tyson Campbell at number 4 for me as well. Maybe you need to cover your list, as the case may be. Same kind of deal, right? We know Tyson should be one of the best players on this team. He's being paid accordingly, right? He's a pretty high draft pick. He's been in the league a while. But, you know, as Hayes Carline put it about a week ago, there's almost like an aura around him right now. Like, he is kind of arrived in a place where he knows what he's capable of doing, and he's going to show you what he's capable of doing. I think the only thing that's going to hold Tyson Campbell back, if anything, this year is those soft tissue injuries, right? Those hamstrings. Keep them fresh. Keep them healthy, man. If Tyson can stay on the field, he looks phenomenal. I mean, honestly, if you're pouring the mold for a cornerback, he just looks like he's been in the weight room, but not, he's not bulky. He looks like the prototype of what you want an NFL cornerback to look like. And I think he's got the talent to play at that kind of level. And by all accounts, he has shown up. I've heard it from people in the organization. I've heard it from a bevy of reporters, because, again, we can't see everything at every practice. Even if you're out here for every minute of a practice, you can't keep your eyes on everything that's going on. So I try to get a lot of different opinions, who's standing out to you, and Tyson's name has come up several times. So I will join you at putting him at number 4 on the list and hope that this pace continues. Denmark, who you got?
I'm going to go Jordan Lewis. John Shipley wrote yesterday. He's been one of the most consistent guys, not just in camp, but all of the offseason. He had a good day yesterday and the first day at pads. So I'll go Jordan Lewis, number 4, on the other guy in the secondary.
Yeah, and Jordan Lewis, again, they will tell you, is as feisty a player as they have. And I want some of that. Like, Tyson's not a big talker, right? No. I don't know what Travis Hunter's going to be like, but he'll probably be doing it with a smile on his face. I feel like Jordan Lewis wants to bite your throat out, you know, like in a good way, Jordan. Don't bite my throat out, please. You get the idea, man. He's just like, he's hyper competitive. He wears it on his sleeve. You see him on social media.
The trash talk part of the game is his game.
Right, but you got to be able to back it up. Yeah. But from what I'm told, Tony, the teammates, like, he wasn't a big numbers guy in Dallas. It wasn't like he was stacking 5-6 interception seasons, right? But that the players in that locker room were not happy because he brought a little something extra that elevates that room with that edge and that accountability, not only for himself, because it's got to start there, but to get in a teammate's face and chew him out, because he's been there, done that. He's a vet who's been in the league, played 8 years in the National Football League, and you got to have a short memory as a corner. You got to have the ultimate confidence. I don't think he's lacking in that regard as well. So I like the call there on Jordan Lewis. All right, let's do this. Let's step aside. We're kind of just floating, waiting to see when Wyatt Milm might make his way up to the Miller Electric Center. So we're hopeful that will come in the next 10 minutes or so. But stick around throughout the second hour of Jaguars Today. We'll continue our countdown of 5 Jags that have caught our eyes, ears, or of notable performance in the first 6 practices now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got the big blower out there. What is that blowing around?
I don't know.
By the way, is it like the little rubber pellets or
pellets and whatever's coming up?
I don't know what, because it's not like the field is covered with leaves. It might just be like the little bits of grass that get torn up just by normal wear and tear of guys running around with cleats. But you see it every day. These guys in golf carts dragging around these massive blowers, like 4 of them working the 3 fields at a time. Just kind of a little behind the scenes of how the whole thing gets put together out here. There's a lot of moving parts to
radio theater of the mind.
It absolutely is, Tony. All right, well, hopefully Wyatt Milm shortly, but we'll get to number 3 in the countdown coming up. And we'd love to hear your thoughts as well, primarily today on social media. If you want to give us 5 players or any player that has stood out to you through your own observation or through the camp reports that you have taken in. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Denmark back at World Headquarters. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Ever wonder if Rick Ballou has an alternate identity?
Paddy O'Brien.
He'll never tell.
Ex-Irish assassin.
Ballou.
Scotland Yard would love to get their hands on that.
Evenings.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
On 1010XL.
They are after me, Lucky Charms.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on Sundays. Sometimes it's flag football, weekend yard work, or just playing with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's osjax.com.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, and this is a great time of the year to be in on all the action. Baseball season in full swing, and Hard Rock Bet is the best place to get in on every pitch, strikeout, and home run, all in the palm of your hand. And I know you love football. We can't wait for these huge games to kick off our college football season. Download the Hard Rock Bet app or log on hardrock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
If life blindsided you tomorrow, would your family struggle? I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial, and I can help. One call could protect your family for life. 904-885-9566. Harborstone Financial.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history. The driver's last shot at the playoffs. Your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
The 2025 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with the Pittsburgh Steelers Saturday, August 9th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field for the first time this season, and grab your tickets for a 7 p.m. kickoff by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you soon, Jags fans.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the Southeast to offer multi-unit hair grafting and the 45-minute PRP treatments. Grow your hair back. Call now for a free in-person evaluation. 904-777-IHRS, 904-777-4477, or visit hairforme.com.
As a Florida homeowner, you're no stranger to mosquito problems. And although it's tempting to use DIY methods to get rid of them, mosquitoes are relentless. That's why it's important to enlist the help of the mosquito experts at Florida Pest Control. At Florida Pest Control, we offer specialized treatment solutions that are effective against mosquito infestations and are committed to keeping our customers protected year-round. For your free quote, give us a call or visit flapest.com today. Florida Pest Control, your local mosquito control experts.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, visit AA Automotive on Richard Street. For oil changes to complex repairs, AA Automotive is a full-service repair shop for personal and commercial fleet vehicles. Trust AA to keep your ride running A-OK.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith here with you live at the Miller Electric Center. And Tony, one thing that the Jags' new regime has preached is it's going to start up front. We're going to get this offensive line in shape, my man. And
no pressure, Wyatt.
Yeah, to that point, spent one of their third-round picks on Wyatt Milm, who it wouldn't have shocked us, brother, if you had gone in the second round. I know you probably – do you follow that, like, in the draft, like, where people are saying you might come off the board?
No, I really don't. I don't pay attention to that stuff. So I just listen to my agents, and whatever happens, it happens.
You just go out there and maul people and let the chips fall where they may.
I just play football.
Right on, brother. Wyatt Milm here with us. Thanks for taking a few minutes. I see you got a few battle scars from the first couple of days of pads. You're like, man, this is like, I'm home now, right? Yeah. I mean, for you, have you been waiting for these last couple days? Because I feel like, offensive lineman, it's great. How much can you show until it's time to physically exert some power on somebody?
Yeah, I feel like it's really not football until you put the pads on. So like this is the past couple of days, be able to put the pads on and just play actual football. So I feel like I've been excited for these past couple of days to come up. So I'm just happy we're playing some football now.
Right on.
Was playing anything outside of offensive line ever a consideration for you?
So I played freshman year. I played tight end of high school, and then. Funny thing is, sophomore year, I was running this pass route, dropped it. Next day, I got moved to right tackle, and I've been tackle ever since. Until here, I play guard now. So I used to be able to catch a little bit.
Are you cool with the whole guard thing? I mean,
yes.
Tackle's a little high profile, but whatever. But I think one thing that I've been told by somebody in this organization is they knew you were powerful. They knew you could move, but they didn't know you could move maybe as well as you do. Do you think your athleticism, just the ability, if you need to pull, get out in space, do whatever, is a big part of your game?
Yeah, I feel like that definitely showed, like my college career. I felt like I pulled a lot. I should be able to show, like we ran a lot of outside zone, and I felt like I'd be able to show my athleticism there. So I feel like coming here, I feel like I can use my athleticism out in space. So yeah, I feel like I'm a pretty athletic offensive lineman.
Why is offensive line a comfortable place for you to be? Like, what gets you going about being on an offensive line?
I feel like the biggest thing for me is the physicality part of it. Just every day, you get to come out here and just hit people and not get in trouble for it. That's how I've always looked at it. Again, also just protecting the quarterback and running back. Because I feel like if we don't do our job, the offense ain't successful. So I feel like, we may get overlooked, but we're a big part of the offense, how successful we are as a team. I feel like how we move, how we attack the line of scrimmage, just our attitude on the field, just our physicality. I feel like that gets everything going.
You'll probably at some point in your career give up a sack, but I know that Jaguar fans love the mentality. We love it.
Oh, no doubt.
How you're like, it feels like every time you're in front of a mic, you're like, no one's touching Trevor.
Yeah.
Not on my watch, anyway.
That's our attitude. We don't want no one touching the quarterback. So that's what we're doing. Every play, we're going to try our best and let no one touch him.
How would you evaluate yourself for the work that you put in so far, going through the offseason, now a week into training camp?
I would say, honestly, just how much more comfortable I am playing guard now. Just like going through this, like start before I got to the NFL, just like the Senior Bowl, I just got that was the first time ever playing guard, playing inside. So that was kind of like a learning experience, but then OTAs, just getting more comfortable with the offense, getting comfortable with playing guard. And now I feel so much more comfortable. I know the offense now. So I'm just playing football out there now. It's just more comfortable, and I'm just having fun.
I think a lot of people thought you were an easy projection, though. They could see, like, the guard, the build, and the capabilities and all that. But, we were talking to Cale Bransaw on Friday. Very similar, man. You go to the Senior Bowl, and all of a sudden you're playing a position that you've never really played before. Yeah. And that week can be so important to open the eyes of these NFL decision makers.
Yeah, I 100% agree, because I played tackle since high school. I've never played inside again. So just going in there, everything just happens so much quicker at guard. You're going up against different body types, different people. So it was just a learning experience there, but I'm grateful that I got to go there and play and just be able to get in the flow of playing guard.
What are Jaguars fans going to see when Wyatt Milm gets on the field?
You're going to see someone that's give everything he got for the team. You're going to see someone that plays through the whistle. And again, I'm going to try to keep everybody off the running back and quarterback. I'm going to try to open holes. And you're going to see someone that just loves playing the game of football.
Yeah, protecting Trevor, yes, job number one. But, but this team wants to run the ball, right? You see it out there. There's a chance that there are 4 actual tailbacks on the opening day roster, which doesn't happen too often. That commitment doesn't seem like it's just lip service. Like Liam Cohen is dead serious about making this team one that is run first.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like,
let's go.
As an offensive line, let's run the ball. Yeah, I like it.
So, go ahead, Tom.
No, you got it, Mike.
Ezra Cleveland, I got to know, because it feels like people think, all right, that's where you're going to get your most reps right now is at left guard, right? So you got to vet like Cleveland. He's not an old guy, though, right? Like, he's still got a lot of career out in front of him. This team has brought in Makari and Adoga and Fred Johnson. There's some guys that are returning as well. You're in an environment where competition hopefully brings out the best, but at the same time, you're teammates and you got to lift each other up. So what has that dynamic been like to come in and in the back of your mind, you're like, I'm coming for somebody's job, but at the same time, that's my teammate, and I got to help him along.
I feel like, just a competition. Like, I feel like everybody needs to compete. I feel like that pushes everybody. But I feel like Ezra's a great ball player. I'm not going to take But Ezra, he helps me out a lot. If anytime I have a question with Ezra, he comes and helps me, or he stays out after practice with me and helps me with drills. So I can't say everything good about Ezra. But I think just the competition everybody's bringing this year, you can definitely feel it.
Have you felt, we talk to young guys in the league a lot, and we talk about the transition from college to the pros, and you're around a bunch of pros now, right? Like you may have had a couple guys that were at that kind of level wherever you were in college. Have you felt that difference just being out on the practice field, especially now that the pads are on?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. You can definitely just how's the best way? Just how everybody, like, even in like Indy, everybody's like, because everybody's just so like their technique, how they work. Like, you just see people practicing like a pro here. You may not always see that in college, but here everything's taken. Every rep is so serious, so you can definitely tell the difference from college to pro with that.
Talking here with Wyatt Milm, we're told, had football not worked out for you, maybe right now you'd be climbing the ladder in the Major League Baseball system. What'd you get that heater up to in high school?
So I think the fastest I got it was like 90-91. My fastball. So that was.
Was there consideration? I mean, or did you football just your true love, and you were doing that as something to do?
I did. Baseball was up there, but there was something special about football. There was something special about football running out on the field. Again, just baseball and football is a little different. So,
bro, nobody's charging the mound if Wyatt Milm brushes them back. I'm thinking, Tony.
I would love to see him try.
He's pretty good. But in all seriousness, I mean, was that like a hard decision for you to, you probably, I imagine when you have success at both things, you probably love them both.
Yeah. So I got an offer early on in baseball. So actually to Marshall. So I was committed to Marshall for baseball until my junior year of high school. And because football, I didn't get any offer. I think sophomore year I started getting offers, but I honestly, ever since I started, I played offensive line, got my first offers. I felt like there was more of a future for me in football than baseball.
Right.
So, but football has always been my true love. I love the game of football.
Jaguar fans don't doubt it, man. They want to see you just wreck some people out there.
Grab the ball from Trevor ever and say, "My turn to throw," like anything?
Not yet. No.
Nothing like. Have you had a chance to see anything in Jacksonville outside of the building we're in right now?
I went to the beach a few times. So I got my wife, my dog here, so we've been on a few walks. Went to a few different restaurants. It's a little different from West Virginia, I must say. The buildings are a little bigger. It's a little.
We don't get that very often. Like, hey, I'm coming to the big city.
This is a little different than West Virginia, but it's a little hotter here too. So,
hey, look, man, you're gonna play in it, so you might as well get used to it.
I'm used to it,
and that to me is a big part of your home field advantage when these teams come in, especially in September, and hopefully melt. So, what's your schedule like? What's a typical day in training camp? What are you doing the rest of the day?
So right now I'm gonna go do some recovery, go eat some lunch. Then go watch some film. And then we got the meetings and then walk through in the evening. And then I'm going to go, tomorrow is our off day, so I'm going to go see the wife and the dog.
Right on.
So I'm going to go spend time with them. And then
that's important too.
Yeah. And then get back after it.
Keep you in a good frame of mind, man. We're excited to have you, man. I mean, look, it's all new. We've gotten excited about Jaguar teams in the past, but it feels like Liam Cohen's bringing and along with Gladstone and Baselli and those guys, and bringing a fresh new attitude and new crop of players. I mean, they're being bold. You got Travis Hunter. I mean, gave up every penny in the Western Hemisphere to move up and get him, but he's making plays out there, man.
Yeah, he's a great player.
If Trevor Lawrence was listening to us right now, not that we think he is.
Oh, of course he is.
If Trevor Lawrence was listening to us right now, what message would you give him?
I'm gonna do everything in my power again to protect my. To let no one touch him. All right, we're gonna keep the pocket clean so he can throw the ball down the field.
You got his back, his front, his side, got it all,
everything.
Man. All right,
everything.
Hey, Wyatt Milm, appreciate you coming by, man. We wish you nothing but the best here. We've been around. We've seen 30-ish years of Jaguar teams, and we hope that ultimately we call you champions of the National Football League.
That's the
goal.
Be
a big part of it.
Yep, that's the goal.
All right, appreciate you taking a few minutes out with us.
Thank
all right,
you.
let's do it again sometime. Wyatt Milm from West Virginia, Tony. he'll brush you back if necessary. So let them know that if they're coming off the edge or up the middle on the pass rush against Trevor Lawrence and company. All right, Wyatt, we thank you so much. Go enjoy a little lunch, a little recovery. All we've done is sit here. I feel like I could use an ice bath, though.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know about you, man. All right, we'll take a time out here. We'll come back. Wyatt Milm, ladies and gentlemen. If you missed any of that, you can catch it on 1010XL on demand wherever you get our podcasts or shows. As we hit a break here, we'll come back, wrap up our Tuesday top 5 as well with players that have stood out to us. And thank you to Wyatt Milm for taking a few minutes here with us on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey once again for big number 1 Duval Ford. Jacksonville's number 1 Ford dealer. You shouldn't be surprised. Well over a century. They have been in business since they were wholesaling vehicles from Henry Ford himself. They've got an unbeatable selection of F-150s, Super Duties, and Broncos. Transparent pricing, fast trade appraisals, no pressure buying experience. They got it all for you, and a service department that has to be seen to be believed. Big number 1 Duval Ford on Cassett Avenue or online at duvalford.com.
It's not girl talk, it's sports talk.
Coming after you!
Tom McManus adds his helmet to the heels with Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl.
Let's talk football.
Football! At a new time, afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too. From Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
XL Primetime is back where they belong.
Wait a minute, I know where that is.
Lunch is on Joe C., Matt Hayes, and Leon.
You could lay a little barbecue on us?
From the big number 1 Duval Ford Studios.
But somebody else is going to have to cook it.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Where is the deepest canyon in the United States?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The deepest canyon in the United States is Hell's Canyon along the Oregon and Idaho border, about 8,000 feet deep at some point.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
Looking for summer fun the whole family can enjoy? Check out Wick, a candle bar. Make your own custom candles and body care products in store at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Team 10XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Where's it at?
Right, exactly. Exactly. Which cool down are we talking about, Tony? Turn that fan around. The fan's been turned off.
Yeah, I know.
We have been left to our own devices at this point. Now, honestly, there's a little bit of a breeze coming in. Just a little call it a baby breeze. Yeah, a little baby breeze blowing. Hey, look.
It moves the air. That's fine.
Do we complain? Yes, but that's my nature. I'm going to complain. If I hit the lottery, Tony, I would complain. I'd
I'm
find
not the
something
one
to
who
complain
teased me with a liner coming out of a break about AC. I didn't choose that.
Come on, bring the AC with us on the road. But in all seriousness, again, thank you to the Jaguars. They do. It's awesome. We're spoiled rotten. We're very lucky to be able to host this program and to have the access that we have, and we absolutely appreciate it. Do not take it for granted. Appreciate our fellow 1010XL workers who join us and enhance the program, and looking forward. We'll be back soon enough, man. I mean, what is it? 2 weeks from today, it'll be Check the Tape Tuesday.
Yes, it
will.
will.
For goodness sakes. DG will be back soon. I was talking to him.
They put on the Steelers. We'll talk about it.
I think D-Rock will join us like a week after that. We'll be back in the groove before you know it, and be in full season mode with the Jacks. But we're not quite there yet. We still got to continue the countdown. We got to get through 3, 2, and 1. So, Dylan, if you would, where'd we leave off?
Number 3.
All right, I guess I'm leading off on number 3 here, Tony.
Sure.
And this is a guy whose name I just keep hearing coming up and probably won't start for this football team. But I've been told that Chuma Edoga has been as impressive as any interior lineman that they've added to this roster this offseason. You think about it. Like, we're projecting Hainsey to start. We're projecting McCarry to start. We just talked with Wyatt Milm. Big expectations for him. Now, I say interior offensive lineman. Adoga's been working at left tackle and right guard. He has never played guard before, and I'm told mentally, the first time they threw him in there out of necessity with McCarry going down in practice, that was like 100% across the board. Knew everything, all the assignments, everything he needed to do. The footwork's been good. He's got good power. Just, again, a guy that we haven't had many quality depth pieces. We haven't had the greatest starters on the offensive line. So even if Edoga ends up being nothing more than a backup at a couple of key spots on that line, he is a guy I wanted to give some credit to, because it's been notable how often his name has come up in my pre-practice conversation. So I'm going Chuma Edoga at number 3. Who we got? Dylan, who you got at 3?
I'm going to go with your number 4. I think it was Tyson Campbell. Had a pretty good camp so far. It feels like he's getting back in the groove of how he was a couple of years ago. Crossing your fingers he doesn't, have that soft tissue injury, but it feels like he is turning the corner and being the corner we've seen him be the last couple of years.
Wouldn't it be great? Tyson Campbell, like legit Pro Bowl level type
It'd be
season.
fun.
I think he has the ability.
No doubt.
Tony and I, we each had him at 4. Tony, who's your number 3?
Number 3 for me is Jordan Lewis, where Dylan had him at, one spot ahead of that on the list. But he's a number 3 for me. Had a good offseason. Reportedly has been really good here early on in training camp as well. As you mentioned when we were discussing it a moment ago, he is the attitude guy.
Yeah.
There on the back end. It kind of matches a lot of the things that they wanted to see changed on the field for this football team. He kind of carries that banner for him, and it seems like it has showed up, at least here early on in camp. The teammates seem to react to him positively, right? Like everything he's doing out there. He's an energy guy, and he certainly brings it on the field. So hopefully, again, we don't know what dividends that's going to pay, but He's going to be starting somewhere at corner for the football team, whether it be inside or outside. He's going to be
He
somewhere
might be
on the
doing
field.
kind of both, right? He might be an outside starter in base and an inside starter in nickel, you know? And it's not just attitude. You can't just be an attitude guy.
No, he's a good enough player to be on the field.
You got to be able to play, right? You got to have some success and some savvy. He's had 10 interceptions in an 8-year career, which is not a staggering number.
No.
But how many guys on this roster have more, right? So this is a team desperately in need of creating turnovers in 2025 when you look at the 9 that they produced last year. I mean, doubling that number is not out of the realm of possibility.
No.
It should be well
doubled
within
it the
the
year
range.
before. Yeah.
Right.
Like
so,
it's not that long ago that they were fine in that kind of category. They were miserable in it last year. They don't have to be this year.
all right, TikTok, the countdown continues.
Number 2.
Dylan Denmark, who you got at 2?
Trayvon Walker. Feels like he's in midseason form, dominating the tackles as he was yesterday. I'm kind of just going off yesterday. It's kind of hard base lineman, when they're in synchronized swimming, just in shorts.
Easy now.
First day in pads was yesterday. He seemed like he dominated the day yesterday, so I'll go Trayvon number 2.
By the way, a quick aside, we got the community pool in the St. Augustine shores, and we usually in the summer we'll get it for a month or two, for the family to go down there. So I can't help but just stand there in the shallow end and go, dun, 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 dun. Now, you'll get it if you watched SNL about, 40 years ago. Anyway, Tony, who you got at number 2?
Number 2 for me is wide receiver Joshua Cephas. I haven't heard any more positive reviews about any player so far in this camp than I have about Cephas, right? Like, it's been virtually every day there's something happens with him out there on the field. I don't expect that means he's going to be any more than the 4 at best. Right on the team. I expect he's actually going to be the 5 or the 6, right, like that kind of thing. But there's been nobody, I think, that the talk has been more positive around than Cephas to this point in camp.
Thought he made another big play today, right? Early on. Not sure if it was from Trevor or not. It might have been from Mullins, but I have him at 2 as well. Joshua Cephas, like, if you didn't know the pecking order, if you were just dropped in, but you had a vague sense of what football was all about, you'd be like, this guy's one of the best receivers on this football team. Now, a lot of guys have flashed in the offseason, right? Here historically, and it's a position where it's easy to flash because you get a longer build-up than, all these other guys. Wyatt Milm's waiting for the pads to come on, right? Like Joshua Cephas from the first minicamp, from the first OTA, the receivers, the guys thrown to him, and the guys covering them directly, the defensive backs, those are the guys that have the best chance to make a good impression. I think Joshua Cephas, Tony, I would be at this point shocked if he's not the number 5. I think he's the number 5 with a bullet. He is built like an NFL receiver. You look at him, you're like, that guy is an athlete, man. I can see him making some big-time plays. Now, granted, you got to carry it from the off-season practice field into the regular season. Again, Jaguar history is littered with receivers that have gotten us excited before the lights come on. Yeah. But you can't deny.
Those have been receivers that got you excited with nobody at the front to carry it. Well, they got guys up front that can carry it with a guy deep on the depth chart that may excite you.
Right. So right now, Brian Thomas at the top. I'd probably make Diami kind of like the number 2 because we don't know exactly on a week-to-week basis what the percentage Travis Hunter is going to play in any given spot. I think Travis Hunter, talent-wise, can ultimately challenge Brian Thomas as being the best on this team. But those 3 guys, and Parker Washington's had a terrific camp as well. But I've seen that out of Parker a little bit before, and he's carried that on. I told you he just missed my cut. He probably would have been number 6. But, yeah, Cephas, I feel like you're right. The battle is for who is the number 6 receiver on this football team because at this point he would have to start really backing up in a big way to not be a Jacksonville Jaguar on the 53 this year. All right, what are we on? Top of the line? Anybody else missing? No, I think we're good.
Number 1.
Tony, lead us off.
Number 1, this is why I asked the question I did at the top of the show. If I wasn't able to put Liam Cohen on the list, which I have at number 1, I'd have Trayvon Walker at 5.
Okay.
I think on my list, but I do have Liam Cohen at 1. And I do think the attitude of this entire offseason and what it's looked like here early in camp, I've mentioned a couple times on the show already this morning. I think it's been a long time since we've had a coach that would openly talk about having that conversation with Anton in the building. right? Like, just come out and say, I said this about him 5 weeks ago. I saw him in the hallway, said, we need that from you every day. Today was good. We need that from you every day. Not just say it to him, say it to all of us, right? So there's kind of everybody is pulling the same direction with Anton Harrison. I do think that accountability is a big deal when you're talking about trying to establish a new culture here in Jacksonville. I think that does have the potential to pay big-time dividends. Nothing seems to have been too big for him in the moment as a first-time head coach to this point. Now the big tests are still obviously in front of him as opposed to behind him, but what I've seen from him so far gets me excited enough that he's number one on this kind of list.
All right, give me your full five if you would, then.
Yeah, number 5 for me is Travis Hunter, Tyson Campbell 4, Jordan Lewis 3, Joshua Cephas 2, Liam Cohen 1.
All right, Denmark, give us your first 4 and then hit us with your number 1.
5, I had Antonio Johnson. 4, Jordan Lewis. 3, Tyson Campbell. 2, Trayvon Walker. 1, Joshua Cephas. Training camp MVP. Feels like every single day someone either reporting or at this radio station is talking about him. That means he's going to make a roster spot, but feel like he is by far and away the person that everyone's talking about over everybody else.
Right. Look, this may not be the reality. This is my feel of it, that Cephas, if Cephas has scored 100 on the test, like Eli Pancol has scored like a 70, that's not a bad, I don't mean that like he's making a D. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. There's a gap. I can't imagine somebody else making this team that outside of the top 4
yeah, he
guys.
can only pass the test he's given.
Ahead of Cephas. I just can't. And like Pancol might be the number 6 right now. It's hard to know, and I'm not in there watching the film with them, but Cephas has absolutely stood out. All right, so let's get to today's 10-10 take.
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
All right, my 5, starting at number 5, I had Anton Harrison there. I think he's responded to the call of upping his game on a day-to-day basis, his effort level, his professionalism. Tyson Campbell, we all had in there. He's getting rave reviews across the board. Chuma Edoga, because this is a guy whose name keeps coming up to me in my conversations with people who are out here at practice every day. Cephas, you guys both had in the top 2.
I am at 2.
I am at 2 as well, and Dylan had him at number 1. But to me, Tank Bigsby is with a bullet like the number 1. I'm a little surprised neither one of you had him in the top 5, but hey, it's all to what's catching your ears and eyes. But to me, and again, this is giving full credit, and I've said it each of the last 2 days, Travis Etienne has looked fantastic each of the last 2 practices in my eyes. By the way, had to get a little bit of an ice bath himself today. It is boiling hot out here, right? You got to take care of these guys. And I think Etienne got a little overheated at practice, but I think that's, no big storyline. But Tank Bigsby, Tone, for most of the first week of camp, has been jumping in with the first rep with the ones, getting at worst an even split with Travis Etienne, sometimes more work with the ones. And it's beyond that. As much as you can tell in these settings, like yesterday, offensive line comes out, blows open a hole for him on the very first touch of practice, and it looked like he would have had a 20-plus yard gain. He looks good catching the ball. I know that's not his forte, but he did have like a 30-catch season at Auburn. I don't think he's incapable of it. I remember interviewing Jonathan Taylor coming out of Wisconsin. We're like, can you catch the ball? He's like, man, just because Wisconsin doesn't throw it to me doesn't mean I can't catch it, right? And they didn't utilize him that way. So you're going to have to catch the ball as a back in this offense, and Tank is showing some of that. He's shown the ability to make guys miss. We know he's got long speed. We know on a carry-per-carry basis he outproduced Etienne last year. I just think he's doing everything he can to put himself in a good position with this football team. What that ultimately means, is he the starter on early downs? Is he a 3-down back? Is he a come-off-the-bench guy? I don't know, but I think that it's hard to deny the buzz that he's had around him for this first week of camp. So I will give my vote for number 1 to Tank Bigsby. And, again, doesn't guarantee anything. And as I say that, acknowledge that Etienne has had back-to-back really standout practices from my vantage point in full pads, which, of course, is the most important thing when they put them all on. So Tank at the top of the list for me. Let's see if we can get a quick peek here on social media. Some of the names that people have put in here. Tootin' Fast, Tootin' Furious, and Tootin' Be Scootin'. Those were top 5. Tootin', Fast, tootin', furious, tootin' be scootin'. And I did see Bajal in full pads today, although I don't know if he got in any team drills. Trayvon Campbell, Lewis, Cleveland, and then Tank and Etienne at the 5 spot for Ohio. Jags fan right there. Let's see, Cam Little, getting a shout out, and a few others. You can go through the timeline at MD_1010XL and check that out if you would like to see who other people are acknowledging as the buzziest Jaguars of the first week. All right, with that, it's time to hand the ball off to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
All right, Matt Hayes on the other end, back at World Headquarters. Matthew, how are you?
Good morning, fellas. All good here?
Be glad you're not outside today, brother.
I was out there. I was down there.
I know, but I'm saying right now.
Yeah, right now.
By the way, we're happy to be here. You know what I mean? But I'll also be happy to step inside for that AC here coming up in a minute. Matt,
it feels nice, by the way. Really,
it really does.
Nice.
What caught your eye today, Matt?
I don't know that any one person caught my eye. I can tell you who continues to, I think, have a good camp. So I think Trayvon Walker's having a good camp. I think Parker Washington's having a good camp. I really like LaQuint Allen. He's making that team. He is making that team.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. Yeah.
And I like the way the tempo between drills. I mean, we'll see. It's early. It's very early.
Right. But, all you can do is go off the observations you have. And we try to acknowledge it along the way. Hey, we're excited about this, but we've been excited about things in the past that haven't come to fruition. What's coming up today on Primetime?
So we have our coach Dave Campo in, and we are going to break down all things camp, all things Jaguars.
Can't beat it. Coach Camp.
Nice.
Got a lot of Coach Camps around these parts. All right, Matt, have a great show, buddy.
All right, thanks, fellas.
All right, we'll see you in there tomorrow as the Jags will be off tomorrow. We'll probably get a few of our favorite reporters to join us and get their week 1 camp observations. Thanks to Wyatt Milm for joining us here, and Jags PR for helping set that up. The voice of the Jaguars, Frank Frangi. Thanks to the 1010XL promotions crew, Maxa and company helping get set up. Jacob, our engineer today. Appreciate those guys as well, because they're sweating out here without getting any of the glory. So we definitely appreciate them. And always thanks to the Jags for just making the opportunity possible. You and I are going to go back to our hidey hole for the next few days, Tone, and we're going to be back out here next Tuesday, though. It'll be the final practice open to the public, so we hope you take advantage of it. We know a ton of fans have already. Make sure you register ahead of time, though, at Jaguars.com, because space is limited. That will do it, I think. That checks all the boxes. Thanks for tuning in today. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. We'll talk to you again tomorrow from 10 to noon with more Jaguars Today here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Maxwell House Coffee will live.